All right, time is 7 o'clock. Very good evening to everyone. And I welcome all of you for the day two session on ACM. Dr. Anbhuti ma'am has already joined. She is with us. And I request ma'am to kindly please take over the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So shall we start now or wait for 2 minutes and then start? Because I can see 17 of them have joined.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you can just do a recap. In the meantime, I think they will join.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yes, shall I get response? Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to check whether you are all there or not.
Yes.
We are there prior to your timing, madam.
Oh, thank you so much. It's like, do you remember yesterday what we have seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So we started with the introduction of structural equation modeling. You spoke about PLSM, CBSEM.
Yes.
CBSEM requires a large sample size, whereas PLS requires a small sample. The differences between CB and PLS.
Okay.
Covariance based and partial least square method you spoke about.
Okay.
Then you spoke about the latent variable, the oval shaped. Then in the rectangular box is the item.
Observed variable.
Yeah, observed and latent variables.
Rectangular box is actually the observed variable,
Right.
while the oval shaped one is actually the latent variable.
Correct.
So what is latent variable is that the latent variable is actually measured through this observed variables or called as scales or items.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so we started with structural equation modeling, and I told that it is an extension of regression model. So in regression, generally we will find out the relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. While there we can find out only the relationship between one DV with multiple independent variables in case of multiple regression. But when you want to simultaneously run the regression, then structural equation modeling would be a good option. And then we were seeing about the approaches of the SEM. We have two approaches. One is covariance based SEM and the other one is actually PLS based SEM. In case of covariance based SEM, we do require a large sample size. And because of the large sample size, and we can't use for exploratory research, and generally the CBSEM will be conducted using two softwares like Amos and Lizrel. And now we can also do it in R. So we have PLSM on the other side. So if you have a small sample size, and the sample size is not declared like less than 30 or less than 40, it's not like that. It means that, for example, in case of CBSEM, we do require at least 400 to 450 sample if we have 5 to 6 variables. So the rule of thumb is like for each item of each variable, you have 5 times of the variable. But this is actually rule of thumb. For calculating the sample size, we generally refer the power formula. For downloading the power formula, that is actually a free software which is available online. You can download it and give us some specification, and then you can find out the sample size. That is one we have seen. And then we started with the Smartpls in structural equation modeling. We have two types of variable. One is observed, one is latent variable. As you said, the observed variable will be represented by a rectangular box, while the latent variable is represented by an oval shaped box. And then we went and we were discussing about the reflective and formative model. So any of you please tell me what is reflective model and what is formative?
Ma'am, may I? So I think for formative model, it is from the item towards the latent variable, and it is more used for exploratory research. And for for formative, and for reflective it is from the latent variable to items. And here we have an option of deleting items if the factor loading is not that significant.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. It is like in case of reflective, what you told is actually correct. In case of reflective, the variable, the latent variable is causing the item. That is what it represents. It is like it is away from the variable to the observed variable, from the latent variable to the observed variable, there will be arrow. So it is called as reflective model. While in case of formative, it is like all the observed variables is causing the latent variable. That is actually formative. As you said, in case of reflective, we can remove the indicator, but in case of formative variable, you cannot remove any indicator as you like. So this is what we have seen. We have also discussed about the inner model and the outer model. So what is inner model? First, we will start the evaluation with the inner model or outer model.
Outer model, I think.
Okay, so the outer model is also said to be the measurement model, where we will do the measurement model classification or satisfaction criteria, etc. And then we will move to the inner model or the structural model. So the outer model is actually the relationship between the variables to its indicators. That is actually outer model or measurement model. While the relationship between the variables, that is the latent variables, is represented as the inner model, or it is said to be the structural model. This we have seen, and I have also told you about higher order latent variable. So do you remember what is higher order latent variable, any of you? So Sir Arnab sir has asked about the second order latent variable. So I just told that this is the second order latent variable. Do any of you remember that? I have explained with knowledge sharing. Do any of you remember that? If not, if you don't remember, please let me know so that I can start with that. That's why I'm asking.
Ma'am, you're asking higher order latent variables, no?
Yes, yes.
I as far as I remember, higher order latent variables is when our latent variables have got one more layer of variables. Yeah.
That is higher order latent variable.
Yeah. So there are two layers of latent variables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 minute. I'll open it. Okay. So we were discussing about higher order latent variables. It is called as higher order construct, and this is lower order construct, LOC and HOC. And Bharti ma'am, you said we have 2 layers. It is not mandatory that we can only have 2 layers. What I have explained yesterday is that I have explained with the knowledge management. For example, I'm going to measure, my variable is actually knowledge management. So KM, where KM is measured via knowledge sharing, knowledge transfer, as well as this knowledge acquisition. For example, so in this case, the knowledge sharing, knowledge transfer, and knowledge acquisition, all 3 are said to be the first order latent variable, and the items which is measured, this is said to be observed variable. So this is observed variable, this is latent variable, and this is also latent variable. Okay, so in this case, since it is the first layer, it is called first order latent variable, while the KM is again measured through a set of latent variable like knowledge sharing, knowledge transfer, knowledge acquisition. Then it is called a second order latent variable. Okay, second order latent variable. So you can have third order latent variable also. Like for example, knowledge management, you have talent management. It's like knowledge management, talent management, etc. This both knowledge and talent management put together are HR practices. Okay, so in that case, that is also possible. In that case, this HR practices is said to be third order latent variable, while this knowledge management and talent management is second order, and this is first order. So like that, you can add more number of models. It's like levels of layers in structural equation modeling. So is that okay? Do you at least understand now what is higher order latent variable?
Madam, you also added along with that knowledge management another three variables in that latent variables kind of box. So even that will be, all those three will be first order variables?
Yes. For example, knowledge management, sir, it's like we have knowledge sharing, knowledge acquisition, knowledge transfer.
Correct.
These three are latent variables.
Okay.
These three variables are measured through 1 minute. Sir. These three variables are measured through observed variables. So this knowledge sharing, acquisition are all first order latent variables. While this knowledge sharing, acquisition, transfer is all put together, this knowledge management practices. Then that knowledge management practices is second order latent variable.
Yeah, that I understood, madam. But my question is this knowledge sharing, knowledge, that three things which are connected with the knowledge management, will all those three also be first order variables or only one particular in that?
No, all the three.
Yeah. Okay.
It is about the layer. The first layer is first order latent variable. The second layer is second order latent variable. For example, if you have one more variable like talent management, and for measuring talent management, you have set of latent variables. This knowledge management and talent management put together are called HR practices. Then this HR practices is called as the third order latent variable, while the KM as well as the talent management both are called as the second order latent variable.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is like you can have many layers. Yes.
Ma'am, so this is different from mediating variables, though. This is different from that? Okay.
Yes, this is different. This is completely different. In case of mediating variable, that is different. I'll explain you today.
Okay.
I'll explain you. I'll touch upon the mediation and moderation today. I don't know whether I can explain it fully, because in reflective formative model itself, we do have different levels. It's like, so this model, there was a book which was published, I think in 2010 or 11. So based on that book, they have introduced Smartpls 1, 2, and 3. Now we have Smartpls 4, where they have updated version of it, and they do have many techniques. It is said to be advanced partial least square technique or advanced Smartpls. It is like to cover that 2 days will not be enough. For to cover that, we require some more days. So I'll do the justice on how I can cover on the basic concepts and the overlay of it, so that when you attend the next workshop on the advanced modeling, you have the basics of this. Is that okay, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes. And one more
For a
thing.
research scholar, madam, suppose, sorry to intervene, for a research scholar, if he or she is interested to, take structural modeling SEM as a thing. So yesterday you told us the preliminary assessments besides Cronbach alpha and
Convex alpha, convergent validity, discriminant validity. Yes.
As well as you spoke about HTMT. So, for example, if a person wants to, write a paper using this, so this will serve the purpose, or you need to, get an understanding of any other concepts besides this?
Sir, for example, you are going to conduct a research.
Yeah.
This is actually a tool.
Correct.
So before approaching a tool, you need to have understanding about how you frame the question.
Yeah, ma'am, suppose all that is done, your research design, everything is done, your objective study, questionnaire, everything is validated and all. So these 3-4 things are enough to, you coming up with your key findings and
No, sir. Absolutely not. It is only a preliminary. It is like tip of the iceberg. That's all.
okay.
It's very preliminary. We have not touched the model at all. Actually, the relationship between the latent variable, that is the actual structural model, is same. And for the reflective model, it will work differently, and for the formative model, it will work differently. Okay, so can we use PLSM for study based on secondary data only? So what does the secondary data means? May I understand? Do you mean the financial data you get it from the websites, something like that? Okay. As far as I know, I have not seen any article which have done or which have used these tools for the secondary data analysis. You will not develop a model in case of secondary data analysis. Is that so?
Ma'am, may I ask one thing?
Hmm.
Is it true that CB SEM has got more weightage when it comes to editors and journals as compared to PLSM?
Yes. It's like this scenario was before 6 years.
Okay, so now it is not like that.
Not now. Before 6 years, it was all totally abolished. That's what I said yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Earlier, we have some rigor problem with the Smartpls. Why? Because there are many researchers with only 100 as the sample size. They were using Smartpls. So because of them, it was established that there was no rigor, etc., etc. And it started with the marketing research. HR or operation, they have not approved the Smartpls technique.
Okay.
But before 6 years itself, everybody started using the Smartpls. So I did my PhD and I completed on 2015. So that time it is like quite challenging for me to get it published because everywhere it was asking for that. But it was 2017 that this Smartpls SEM became very famous. You know, actually the skimming price, right? Generally the Geo will adapt it.
Yeah.
Likewise, Smartpls entered into a market as a free software, and then once it gained traction, now it is actually a paid software. So that itself will tell you that whether the acceptance rate is high or not.
Right, ma'am. Actually, we faced one problem. I wrote one paper with a co-author, and that paper was based on Smartpls. Okay. Now my respondents were consumers. So the reviewer told that you have to justify why you have taken Smartpls. So we gave a justification that our sample size was small. Then he said that if your respondents are consumers, you cannot have to have small sample size. That means the rigor is not there.
In that case, you should not have given the feedback as the sample size is small.
And okay.
In that type of sense, because as the reviewer said, it is only consumers. You can get from any number of people. You can tell that ours is an exploratory research where it is first of its kind, novelty is there. So we have gone for Smartpls rather than CBSEN. Or else you might have told that you have many variables as well, the complex model.
Right.
For example, yours is a complex model.
Yes.
You need to tell that ours is a complex model which cannot be established through CBSEN.
Right.
So if reviewers or anywhere in the article, please don't mention the sample size is small there because of that reason you are using.
Right. Okay.
Mention that because of the complexity and because of the exploratory type of research, you are adapting the Smartpls.
Okay.
Smartpls is actually the software. It's like you have adapted the PLS technique, partial bias modeling. That's all.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. Which type of models are used for study based on secondary data? Financial data of companies. I don't understand which type of models are used for study based on secondary data. It means you will not go for even the survey research. I think you can go for a time series analysis when it's financial data of companies. But I don't think so. You can go for a structural model. I have not seen anything like that. But if something I can come across, I'll let you know. But as far as I know, only with the primary research, you can do it. Okay. Okay. So now we will move to the okay. So okay, is the screen visible now?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So we have seen something like convergent validity and discriminant validity. Okay. Convergent and discriminant. So discriminant. So what does convergent means? The convergent validity should be with the variable to its indicators. So the convergent variable is from the variable to its indicators is said to be convergent validity. While discriminant validity is that it should be established between the variables. So discriminant validity should be established between the variables. So convergent validity should be established with the variable and the indicator relationship. So this is what convergent and discriminant validity. And we have also seen one more thing. Okay, so we have also seen about Cronbach's alpha. So what is Cronbach's alpha? Cronbach's alpha established the reliability of the scale. So Cronbach's alpha established the reliability of the scale or reliability of the items. So in addition to the Cronbach's alpha, we do have composite reliability. Yesterday, we were discussing about composite reliability, right? Do you remember about that? Composite reliability. So what does this composite reliability mean? It is okay. So the composite reliability is said to be the internal consistent reliability of the variable. Internal consistency reliability. This composite reliability will tell you the internal consistency reliability. Okay. So Cronbach's alpha have got a problem. For example, if you have, I think you might have seen this or might not have seen this, when you have too many items, your Cronbach's alpha will be. Have you observed this? Any of you observed this? Do you have any idea about this?
Ma'am, can you repeat your question, madam?
Okay. So, for example, you're finding the Cronbach's alpha for customer satisfaction.
Yes, madam.
For example, the customer satisfaction has got 5 questions or 5 items.
Okay, madam.
On the other hand, you have customer loyalty where you have only 4 items. So generally, Cronbach's alpha have the tendency to skew towards the variable which has got higher items, higher Cronbach's alpha. If you have only 3 items for the variables, the Cronbach's alpha will be less. Have you experienced this? Have you tried this?
Yes.
So
I have heard that at least minimum you should have 3 items for your construct.
So that is minimum. But anyway, If you have more items, the Cronbach's alpha will be high, even though the reliability is low.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have less items, even though it has got the good reliability, it will be low. So that is the problem with Cronbach's alpha. In that case only, we will be explaining or considering this composite reliability. So this is composite reliability. And then, okay. So before going to that, shall we move to Smartpls? I have sent you a data set. Have you got the data set?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you got the data set? Can you please open the data set? Can you please open the data set? Is the Smartpls screen visible to you all?
No, madam.
Okay, so can you please open the data set? So generally, if a data set is given to you, please understand the data set. Or for example, if you are collecting the data, it is better to see the data set rather than doing the analysis directly. So okay, so that is the data set personally we have collected for one of our study earlier. So the study was about the restaurant loyalty, how the loyalty of the customers are built up, how the loyalty of the customers are built up. So that is what the restaurant loyalty, it's like customer loyalty was made. So we have considered physical factors, social factors, and customer satisfaction. So we have taken physical factors, social factors, and customer satisfaction, and we have devised the model based on the prior literature review. We have devised the model based on the prior literature review. When you see the data set, open the data set, the data set is coded before. Can you see the age is there and PF1, PF2, PF3 is there? Can you see that?
Ma'am,
Yes, madam.
ma'am, where is the data? When you send the data set?
Before starting the class, I have sent you
It's
a
there
data
on the
set.
WhatsApp group, sir.
WhatsApp group.
Okay, on WhatsApp group it is.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
Madam, from where did you get this model, ma'am? Restaurant loyalty?
It's from the prior literature I got, sir. It's
Okay.
like one of the paper I have done.
Acha, acha, acha. Okay.
I didn't find the written part of it. It's like
Okay.
it's only small part we have done for one of the conference.
Okay, not an issue, madam. I just wanted to know because I thought maybe, I missed it. Karke I asked.
Okay, okay. No, I have not shared any articles regarding this study.
Okay, madam.
Okay, so when you collect the data, you will be having a questionnaire. Okay, I'll also show the questionnaire. I think I have the questionnaire with me. Generally, how will you go for survey? May I know from any of you?
We'll prepare a questionnaire, madam. And
Okay,
then,
how will you float it?
through Google
Online.
Forms online.
Okay, okay. You generally recode it?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We do it on
Okay.
Likert scale and then we convert it. We can code it later on. If it
Okay,
is
so
on
you will
Likert.
also know this coding, right?
Yeah, Likert scale strongly disagree to
Yes.
strongly
yes.
agree.
No, it's like that is okay. You know about the Likert scaling, strongly disagree instantly. But in case of the structural model or in case of Smartpls, for example, you have a bigger question like, are you satisfied with the physical factors or the lighting of the store? Are you satisfied with the lighting of the store? You should not have the question in your data set. You generally need to recode your question. For example, That would be one of the question under physical factors, and I have to recode it as PF1, or it's like I gave a short form of it. Generally, the Smartpls software will not accept the larger text.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to recode with some other shorter format. Generally, what it's like what I do is that I will take a shorter form of that particular latent variable and add 1, 2, 3 to it. That's why I have recoded like physical factors, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. So, is the Smartpls screen visible, sir?
Yes, madam. We can see.
Okay. So now please go to new project. Please go to new project. When you click the new project, it will ask you what is the new project name. So you can give restaurant. Again, I have restaurant loyalty. I have shop loyalty. Shop loyalty. Okay. Shop loyalty. Please create, give a new project. When you click a new project, it will ask for your name. So please give a name and give create. Then you can see that the shop loyalty folder is created over here.
You have to say shop loyalty create model, madam, there.
Yes, new
After you give the name,
project.
yeah.
You give a name and give create, sir. That's all. Now you're not creating a model, you're creating a folder.
Ma'am, I checked, but I have not received any database on my WhatsApp. Can you share again or share via mail?
Okay, so are you part of the WhatsApp group, sir?
I have not received any invitation for the WhatsApp group where it is.
Okay. Okay. I'll check whether I can share over here in the chat box. Oh.
Many have not received.
Mm-hmm. You're not
That-
part of the WhatsApp.
Better you mail, ma'am. That will be better.
Okay, I don't have your mail ID. That's why I have
Acha.
sent you.
Okay, nahi, in the same the mail ID, common mail ID which you created for all the participants, or okay, anywhere, whatever you like, you mail.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Oh,
as you-
okay. Many of you haven't received. I can send them. Zoom, I can do it. Anybody knows there any possibility of sending a document in Google Meet? Zoom, generally we do send, but it's like, is there any option over here?
No, ma'am, even we can't see
through
attachment.
the messages.
No, it is like I can't send an attachment. I can only send a message.
Yeah. Or else, what we can do is we can send the group invitation to them, let them join first, and then we can resend the data.
Thank you. I think that will work rather than I'm sending over here. Okay.
It will take a lot of actually it will take a lot of time. It will download and then can you directly WhatsApp ma'am on this
Yes, sir. I have
mobile
sent
number?
you a WhatsApp invitation. I have sent you a WhatsApp invitation. So please join in the group
Okay.
so that I can resend it again.
Mhm.
Have you joined?
Not yet received. Not yet received any invitation.
No, sir. I have sent the invitation in the chat box. See the chat box, sir. Please see the chat box.
Actually, chat box. Actually, chat box I have opened on the it is opening on the laptop.
Yes, in the right side, you will have a message. In-call messages will be there.
Okay.
Have you seen, sir?
Yes, that message I have seen. Actually, and it is on the laptop, and it will take time then to open in the mobile.
No. So if you have web.whatsapp, or basically if you have web-based WhatsApp installed, you can join in a seconds.
Nee, that I'm doing with the same way. WhatsApp is also open on the net on the laptop.
Now then it's very easy. Just click that link and join.
Download or join.
Join link.
Join.
Click that link and join.
Join, sir.
It is. I am. But not yet joined. It is.
Sir, I have sent you. Sir, I have sent you on your personal window. Don't panic. Okay. अभिषेक जी मैंने आपको
अच्छा
व्हाट्सएप पे भेजा है आपको.
हाँ मिल गया सर. Thank you sir.
Yeah. I'll charge you separately for that. No issues.
Thanks sir. Thanks for this.
Okay. I have also, Vijaya ma'am, actually, I have again shared the data set. Okay, so, okay, here, got it. Shall we move ahead?
Ma'am, that after you open that restaurant thing, then how did you get all this, madam? Data set 1 and all that I wanted to ask you.
No, sir, I have not did it. That is different. Okay, I'll just close that. I'll close that. I'm going to do it again for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I created only the shop loyalty.
Okay. After
So
that,
after creating this shop loyalty, you have an option called import data file. Okay. When you click this import data file, you will have the data set. So for me, it is showing the text function because I already have it in text. I think for your, yes, somebody is sending a message.
it is going in the, is asking from where do we need to import.
Yes, it is better to have the file in the desktop and do it.
Okay, save it on the desktop and then import it from there.
Yes, that's actually better practice of doing it.
Okay.
I've also sent you a CSV file and not an Excel file. So generally only the CSV format is accepted, sir.
Acha, Excel is not accepted,
So
madam?
for ease of use, I have sent a CSV file, but originally we do work in Excel file.
Okay.
Generally, we do update in an Excel file.
Okay.
Okay, so I am also doing the same. I am doing import data file, and I've saved the file in the desktop. And then this data set 1, is the screen visible?
1 minute,
Is
madam.
the chat?
Yeah, we have got the data CSV, madam. That.
Okay, yeah, sir. After getting the CSV, you have created shop loyalty, right? Here you click the import data file.
Okay.
After clicking import data file, go to desktop.
Okay.
Okay. After going to desktop, please locate the file.
Okay.
So the file name is dataset1. So give locate the file, click that and give open.
Yes, madam.
When you give click and open, it will be asking for the missing value treatment.
Correct.
Is that visible in the down? So
Yes.
there is no missing value in this case, and you can simply press import.
Apply marker, it is saying, madam, there.
No, that nothing. Don't please don't do anything. You directly give import.
Okay, madam.
Once you import, can you see my page where you have indicators?
Yes, madam.
So this page will be there for you. It
Yeah,
will
we'll go.
find out the basic descriptive statistics about each of the indicator.
Okay.
So it shows that there is no missing values. That's
Okay.
all. You can go back. So here, when you see now the data set color is green in color. You have that cascading shape.
Where, madam?
You have a I don't know whether it's visible for you or.
After we went back, there
It is
was
visible, ma'am.
no color, no.
No, not like it will not be so visible. It's like you have got shop loyalty here.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
have data set 1498.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
In the left hand side, it is showing you in green color.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It
showing.
means that your data set is imported and it is perfect. You can go ahead.
Okay.
That is what the color says. For example, I have one more file called OTT. When I see this file, it is showing in red color.
Okay.
It means that there is some problem. So you can get a confirmation with that color itself. So now we have imported the data set. The next step is we need to create a model.
Okay.
So on the top of it, you have an option called create model. Click that. When you click create model, already the project we have assigned is shop loyalty. But
Yes,
it will ask for the model type, whether it's SEM or CBSEM or regression or process. So now we are going to do with PLSM. So I have given PLSM and you need to give a model name for it. So what I am giving this, I am giving shop underscore loyalty model, or else whatever you want, you can name it and give save.
Okay, madam.
You will land on a different page where the page is blank at the right side, and on the left side you have the indicators.
Okay.
PF1, PF2, PF3, etc.
Okay.
Are you in that page? Everybody is on that page. Shall we
Yes.
move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, we are.
Okay. So first I'll show you the model. The model is actually, you have physical factors and social factors as independent variables, while customer satisfaction is a mediator and customer loyalty is an outcome variable or the dependent variable. Are you okay? We have physical factors and social factors as independent variable, customer satisfaction as a mediator, and customer loyalty as an outcome variable. Now we are going to draw a model for this. So I am again going to shop loyalty model. So please, when you have so many options tab on the top, so go to latent variable, click latent variable. Click latent variable. So after clicking latent variable, you click inside the space where it is blank. Please click in the space where it is blank, and I am giving physical factors and pressing enter. Have you created a latent variable?
We cannot drag it, madam, anywhere.
Dragging is not required, sir. You just click the latent variable. After clicking the button at the top, you come down and click in the blank space. That's enough, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want, I'll delete this and do it. Is the Smartpls screen visible to you all now?
Yeah, how to delete it, madam?
So for deleting it, you need to go to select and then select it and press delete. That's all.
Go to select and then.
No, 1 minute. I clicked the latent variable. I have, okay, with the alpha itself, I'm creating a variable. I want to delete it. But if you click again, it is not selected. In order to select this, you have a button at the top before latent variable. Click that select and again come click the alpha delete. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So now you're creating latent variable. So we have two independent variable, one mediator and one dependent variable. So altogether we have 4 latent variable. So it is better to create 4 latent variable now. One. So one is physical factors and the other one is social factor.
You have to just click on that white screen, madam.
Yes, that's all, sir. Have you created one latent variable, sir?
I'm doing that, madam.
Okay. So when you click it, it will
It's
show you
showing
alpha.
press alpha, yeah, something.
Yes, same here, ma'am.
Yeah, it's like you remove it.
Okay, we have to press enter.
You delete it. No. Don't
No.
please press enter. 1 minute.
Okay.
Because every time that press enter key to proceed, it is saying.
Yeah, right.
Okay, 1 minute. So I click the latent variable. I'm clicking in the white space. When I click the white space, it is telling me alpha. But our variable name is not alpha.
Right.
Now we are creating a variable with the variable name. So our variable name is physical factors. So I'm giving physical factors. And after typing in physical factors, press enter.
Okay.
Okay, you will get one latent variable. Likewise, go to other vacant space and click again. Again, you will get that alpha. So again, delete it and give social factors. And then press enter. So we have physical factors, social factors, and we have customer satisfaction. Again, click in a blank space, remove it, customer satisfaction. And press enter. So we have one more latent variable and then again alpha. You can delete it and customer loyalty and press enter. So please give a heads up when you have created this 4 variables.
Yes, ma'am. Done. Ma'am, is there? Do we have option to edit the name?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
if the spelling is okay, we have.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So
Okay.
how we can do it? It's like you go to select, select the social factors, right click it.
Okay.
When you right click it, you can do the edit. There in the caption model, you can edit. In the top, you can see social factors. So you can edit the value and give apply. For example, I am changing the social factors into social underscore factors and press apply. You can change the name of the variable.
Okay.
You cannot move it, madam. Move it.
You can move it, sir. It's like when you want to move it, you want to select again, press the select button, and then you can hover around.
Achha, okay.
That is possible.
Okay. So, ma'am, for renaming, we have to select, we have to do the right click and then rename
Right click and go to edit settings.
Edit. Okay.
Then you will get social factors or whatever factors you have given. Then you can do it.
Okay.
You have to write in caption in model and caption report both, madam.
Sorry, sir. Caption in model means?
there is one option coming in edit settings. When I click that, it says caption in model and cap. So I think we need to
Caption and model. Caption and model. If you change caption and model, the caption and report will automatically change.
Okay. Fair enough, madam. So
Okay.
far, so good.
Yes. Okay. So after, have you all created? Shall we move? You need to create
Yes, ma'am.
4 latent variable. 2, one is physical factors. Another one is actually, one is physical factor, social factor, and then customer loyalty and customer satisfaction. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay. Now, generally, the practice is to arrange it. So what I told is this physical and social factors or independent variables. Generally, the independent variables will come in the left-hand side. The customer satisfaction is the mediator and the customer loyalty is actually outcome. So we can arrange this and you can see this connect button. Click this connect button and then start from physical factors, it's customer satisfaction, social factors to customer satisfaction, and customer satisfaction to customer loyalty.
Connect and we have to just click, madam.
Just connect, sir. Yeah, it's not required to click, just connect it.
Okay.
If you want to delete this connection also, again, go press select this connection and give delete, it will get delete.
Okay.
And again, if you want to connect, go to connect, start from customer satisfaction, click it, hold the key and go to customer loyalty. Excuse me.
Madam, when I want to connecting it, it is disappear automatically.
You have to try, sir. थोड़ा try करना पड़ेगा.
Okay.
आ रहा है वो थोड़ा try करना पड़ेगा.
Otherwise, I leave the mouse, so it disappear.
Yes, sir. It's like you need to hold it.
Okay, for some second.
Hold the mouse, start it from the first variable from where you are connecting, and then drag and go to the second variable.
Done.
And
Okay, now working on.
Yes, okay. Shall we move?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, according to the model we have made, it is like the physical factors have an impact of customer satisfaction. The social factors have an impact of customer satisfaction, while customer satisfaction have an impact on customer loyalty. Right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
there could be hypothesis which connects the physical factors as a direct relationship with customer loyalty. The physical factors have direct relationship with customer loyalty. In that case, you can also have a direct relationship from the physical factors to customer loyalty and social factors to customer loyalty. But it is not compulsory. This part should emerge from the literature. It is not compulsory that the physical factors should directly cause customer loyalty. It should emerge only from the literature, and we should not, it's like blindly, we should not drag and drop any connection lines. Is that okay? So now we have drawn the model, but you can see our model it's in orange in color or peach in color. Now we need to drag and drop the indicators. Because you don't have the indicators, now what you can do, you can see the indicators on the left-hand side. So now I'm going to drag and drop the physical factors because physical factors is at the top. So I am selecting PF1, press shift 1, 2, 3, 4. because we have got 4 indicators or 4 items for physical factors. I have selected this and I am dragging and dropping to physical factors. Is that okay? Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, madam.
Okay. So what if you want to undo it, you can simply press Ctrl Z. That's all. So now we have created a model, but we have not selected any indicators. So first I'm selecting the indicator for physical factors. For that I'm selecting, you need to press Shift and select 1, 2, 3, 4. After selecting this, you need to drag and drop inside physical factors. You will see a blue color physical factors. It means that it is satisfied, it has got the indicators, right?
If the color doesn't change, madam?
Generally, it will change. If it doesn't change, there is some problem.
Okay.
If only the indicator is not there, it will have a different color. So again, it is so clumsy. So in order to make it, again, right click inside the physical factors, right click. Okay, you go to select again and then right click. When you right click, you have so many options, right? It is like hide indicators. When you want to hide the indicators, you can also hide it. But now our goal is not to hide it. We need to align it to the left. So I'm pressing align indicators to the left. When I press align indicators to the left, it is like this.
How did you do that left, madam? Align left.
Okay. It is like you have to click inside, right click, sir. So before right clicking, please select. You have a select button at the top.
Yeah.
Press that select. After pressing that, you go right click inside physical factors. You will get an option. Select all, delete, rename, edit settings. So in this state also, you can rename it, sir. Like if you want to rename physical factors into something, you can also rename it. But our goal is to align indicators. Whether you want to align it at the top, left, bottom, or right. In this case, I am aligning the indicators to the left. So it got aligned.
Ma'am, this is just for the purpose of visual. It should look decent. That's it, no?
Yes,
I mean, the
yes, because we
alignment.
are going to get imported for our paper, right?
Paper.
Article.
Mm.
So for that, we are doing this.
Okay, okay.
Okay, then for the same thing, you do it for social factor and customer satisfaction. Select social factor, hold the shift key, select SF1, 2, 3, 4, 5, drag and drop inside social factors.
We cannot
Again,
directly drop it on the left hand side, madam.
No, that is not possible, sir.
Okay, okay,
It will align as per the space is there.
okay.
So we need to do it. So
Okay.
again, right click it, align indicators to the left.
Okay. So just we need
Ma'am,
to again.
the direction of the arrow, it is important, right?
Yes, yes.
So for
Can
the
also do it.
for the indicators, when we are shifting them or when we are taking them to the physical factors, or the arrow shows towards the left. That means, is it the blue one which is getting influenced by the indicators, or the other way around?
Oh, if it is away from the variable, it is reflective. But you can make this as formative. As per our conceptualization, all are reflective. That's why the arrow we didn't change. But if you wanna change it to formative, again you can right click it. You have this invert measurement model option. If you click this, you will have this formative model.
Okay.
But as per the conceptualization, ours is not formative model. That's why I'm retaining the away arrow. It's like the reflective model.
Okay.
Again, we need to do it for customer satisfaction. So we have 3 items, drag and drop. This is perfect. So I am not going to do anything with that. And we have customer loyalty. Okay. So that's all. Our model is ready. So how the model is ready? It means that all the latent variables are satisfied, everything in blue color. So it shows that the model is ready. Everybody is on this stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we move?
Yes.
Hello, madam.
Ma'am, is it paused?
Yeah, actually, we are not able to hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here only. Yes, it got disconnected. That's why.
Yeah,
Okay. So shall we move? Is the screen visible again now? Smartpls screen?
Yeah, we can see, madam.
Ma'am,
Okay.
one
So
question.
now, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
One question, ma'am. This has both formative as well as reflective structure, right? This independent,
No,
everything is, and inside this latent, everything is formative, no?
No, ma'am. This is all reflective.
Inside the inside model also.
So, ma'am, it's like only the measurement model. That is the outer model. You can tell either it's formative or reflective. In
Okay.
case of structural model, you don't have that formative reflective concept.
Okay, so when we do this measurement, that is checking reliability and all, we check only for this physical factor and social factor only, not for this mediating and this dependent customer loyalty. Do we do all for all these variables?
Ma'am, again, the outer model is like the relationship between variable to its indicators. So here the variable is physical factors to the TF1, 2, 3, 4. Customer satisfaction with CS1, 2, 3, 4. Only that. We are not going to find out any relationship between the variables.
Okay.
So the outer model is only the variables with its indicators, not between the variables.
Okay, so when we do the measurement, that is for calculating AB and CR and all, we check for physical factor, social factor.
Yes. Yes.
And also for customer satisfaction and customer loyalty.
Yes. Yes.
For
That's all.
Okay.
Yes. We'll do it, ma'am. Now we will do it. Okay. So after doing this, go to calculate. When you press calculate, you have many options like PLSM algorithm, bootstrapping, confirmatory tetrad analysis, IPMA, importance performance map analysis, PLS predict. So you have many options. So our goal is now to perform a PLSM algorithm. So press PLSM algorithm. When you press this PLSM algorithm, you will have a pop-up window where it asks for factor path PCA. As I told yesterday, the default setting is path since we have selected PLSM. So maintain the same and click start calculation. So once the calculation is done, you will get this output. Are you all in the output page? Or I want to do it again?
Ma'am, it's done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am. Done.
Okay, it's done. Okay, so once it is done, first we will interpret. So go to Excel, and you can get an Excel report. In the Excel report, if you need a model image, you can click this render model image. For me, I don't want any model image, so I am just giving export. So it is asking for shop loyalty model, and I am downloading it. Save. Okay. Once you save, this page will open. So my Excel sheet is visible to you all.
Excel sheet
Ma'am,
we cannot see, madam.
No, ma'am.
No,
Please,
ma'am. Thank you.
ma'am, please repeat what is to be done.
Okay, 1 minute. I think my
You have
Excel
to
sheet
share
has
the screen again, I think.
I think yes. 1
But,
minute.
after this numerical value is showing with the variables, now indicators. After that, what is to be
Then
done?
you have to go to Excel.
Excel,
Yes, and then export it.
render model image export.
Yeah. keep
Yes,
it
sir.
as-
If you want a model image, you can press that. If you don't want the model image, you just take it out. That's not required.
Okay. It is asking for the save.
Yes, sir. Please save it. When you press save, it will ask with what name you have to save. You save with the same name, and it is better you save it either in desktop or in downloads.
Okay, okay.
So after
Now,
saving, it will open on its own.
yes, it opened with the
Yes.
diagram,
Yes,
and
because you might have pressed the render model image. That's why it's opening. So it's like you will get this. You will be seeing this Excel sheet, right? So,
Right.
okay. So you need to see four steps or four, what you can tell. There is actually 4 things you need to do for the reflective model in case of the measurement model. The first one is you need to check for the factor loadings. So in order to check the factor loadings, you have this outer loadings and you press show. You have outer loadings, you press show. When you press show, you will get this matrix. When you press show, you will get this matrix. You got this matrix?
yes.
Okay. So what this matrix, it is again the outer model. It is the customer loyalty indicators with customer loyalty, customer satisfaction indicators with its customer satisfaction, etc. So here it is showing some red colors. The red means it is alarming. The red means it is alarming. When you take the customer loyalty, the CL2, it is showing 0.597 and it is showing in red color. So, in case of factor loading, generally, if it is greater than 0.6, it is actually good.
0.6,
But
madam.
0.6. But here, since it is actually like relative grading we do in case of people evaluation, right? Student likewise, comparing the CL1 and CL3, it is very low. When you see CL1, it's 0.861. When you see CL3, it's 0.888. So generally what I will do, I will tell, I will not see the factor loading in this data sheet. I will not see the factor loading in this data sheet. Rather than that, what I will do, it's like, I will go to the Smartpls. You have a Smartpls output here readily available. So here, if you go, you can see this 0.679, 0.868, 0.772, 0.508. This is actually outer loading. This is actually outer loading because I feel that it's easy to find whether the outer loading is good or not. So when you come to social factors, you can see this SF3 is 0.372, which is not acceptable, right? because we have said if it is greater than 0.6, it is good, but here it is 0.372. So it means it is not acceptable. In that circumstances, what I recommend you to do it is like, click here and press delete. Click here and press delete. Go to edit and go to edit. You can go back. You have a select option. I feel this SF3 is 0.372 and selecting this observed variable and pressing delete. Got it?
And what is the difference between the loadings, what we saw in the Excel sheet and this, madam? You're saying outer
The
loadings.
same.
Values are same, madam.
Ma'am,
The same.
so it will, by default, the standard size is 0.6 and above.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Then once we delete that one which is less than 0.6, then the remaining values which are there, will the values change, or will it have an impact on that?
Yes, of course, it will have an impact. You see, I have selected this SF3 and pressing delete. You can see this is 0.501 before. Now it became 0.592. It means when you remove one indicator, the other indicator which is slightly weak, it will gain its importance and became powerful.
Okay.
That is actually good, right? Because earlier it was 0.501. Now it is 0.592. Then it's good, right?
But then that value is also less than 0.6, no, madam?
That is also less than 0.6. You can do it in the second stage. It's like first stage, we need to see the alarming situation, and I'll also delete this. I'll also select this, press delete.
Ma'am, we have to report this in our paper that we have eliminated few of the elements in our process.
It is not required that you need to mention perfectly that you have deleted this SF1, that is social factors, first indicator, second indicator, etc. You can tell that you have taken a already developed scale. It's like established scale, and you have tweaked it based on the present scenario or the present situation, and you have removed it because of the low reliability or low factor loading. That's what you need to mention. It is not required to explain it so briefly. It's like so description is not required. You can briefly explain it.
But is it necessary to document that, madam? Because still you are trying to test your model, no? So is it necessary to document that actually?
Yes, sir. It is better to document it, because generally in the article, we will give the scales.
Okay, madam.
We will give the scales. In that case, they will ask, you have mentioned 4 scales. It's like 4 questions. But here in the model, you have removed 2. So instead of the reviewer asking us, it is better we declare it that we have removed because the factor loading is very poor. That is acceptable. It is better practice to accept it rather than they find out and then we will do it.
Ma'am, then do we have to show the one which we have included and then later saying that we have deleted and the values got changed? Do we have to show all the diagrams?
No, that's not required. You have to reproduce only the final one.
Okay.
That's not required. You have to reproduce only the final one. That's completely perfect. But make sure that it is not, I don't encourage, or any of the researchers don't encourage to remove the indicator or remove the items, because we might know how painful it is to collect the data. So we need to pay utmost care and see that if you remove one of the indicator, whether there is any improvement in other indicators. Like when we remove this SF3, you can see this SF2 has increased from 0.510 to 0.59. It is, I feel that it's more than 10% of increase, so that you can do it. Again, what you can do, you told, it's like according to what we have discussed, it's again less than 0.6. You remove SF2 and see is there any major increment in the factor loading of the other indicators. if it does not have a major improvement, it is not advisable to remove that SF2. Because SF2, it is near to 0.6, 0.590, and it is better to retain that. Because only with the factor loading, we will not come to a conclusion. While removing this SF3, we also see the composite reliability and Cronbach's alpha. So it's a trial and error process. Okay, so now that's a procedure for removing. But now I am not removing anything. So I have this sheet. So go to that sheet.
Which sheet, madam?
The Excel sheet where you have saved the output.
Okay. The very first thing which you sent us on CSV, madam?
No, sir. No, sir. Now you have saved the Excel sheet.
Yes.
That sheet. When you go there, when you come down, it's like you can see. So the first value, what you need to see is factor loading. So we have seen the factor loading. There are some of the factors which is less than 0.5. You can remove it now or you can remove it later based on it. So the second thing what you have to see in this case, it's like construct reliability and validity. So it is under quality criteria. You click the show button. Construct reliability and validity. Click the show. You will get the construct reliability and validity here. Yes, you got this construct reliability and validity.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In case of construct reliability and validity, can you see the social factor is in red color? This Cronbach's alpha, composite reliability, as well as average variance extracted.
Yes, madam.
Because now we have not removed that SF3. I feel that SF3 might be a problem. That's why it leads to poor AVE, average variance extracted, and poor Cronbach's alpha and composite reliability. So it is better you remove it and run again. But before running it, we don't have enough time. I'll explain this and then we will run again. Okay. So after seeing the factor loading, first you need to look out for the factor loading. And second, you need to look out for the composite reliability. So here you have the composite reliability where you have row A and row C. Can you see two composite reliability?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that row, madam?
It is row A. It is in the bracket. It might have written RHO underscore A, RHO underscore C.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll explain what is row A and row C. Cronbach's alpha, it is affected by this. If you have too many items, the Cronbach's alpha will be high. Likewise, in composite reliability, we have row A as well row C, where you can see it is better instead of row C, we should consider only row A. Again, row C. Yes. Okay. So it is better practice to consider row A rather than row C, because this row C, that is the composite reliability which is measured, which is given in the bracket row C, please don't see to it. Please see the composite reliability which is having this bracket row A. Yes?
Is it a thumb rule, madam?
It is not a thumb rule, sir. Again, it is affected by the number of items. Like Cronbach's alpha, this composite reliability is also affected by number of items. In order to have a middle stand, instead of considering the row C, we are considering row A. That's all.
Okay.
It is not a thumb rule. It is like this is the procedure generally we do follow according to Hare et al.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So then you have composite reliability row A. You see this. In case of composite reliability, there are three ranges. So there are three ranges of composite reliability. For example, if it is between 0.6 to 0.7, it is in acceptable range. If the composite reliability is between 0.6 to 0.7, then it is acceptable range. If the CR CR is equal to 0.6 to 0.7, then it is acceptable. If the CR value is between 0.7 to 0.9, it is satisfactory to good. If CR value is greater than 0.95, it is problematic. I think I've discussed this yesterday also when I was discussing about the factor loading. So this is actually the cutoff value for composite reliability. This is actually the cutoff for the composite reliability. So when the composite reliability is 0.6 to 0.7, it is acceptable. When it is between 0.7 to 0.9, it is satisfactory to good. When the composite reliability is greater than 0.95, it is problematic. So based on this cutoff, when you see this, the customer loyalty, customer satisfaction, and physical factors are all in satisfactory to good range. While the social factor, which is 0.671, it is in acceptable range. Is that okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So you
Madam,
need
what
to
is the
find
difference between this composite reliability row A versus just plain composite
that is
reliability?
row C. That is row C. There is a difference. It's like it is affected by the number of items. So they want to find out the middle ground. That's why it is actually newer addition to Smartpls. Earlier, we had only one composite reliability in before 2-3 years. Only in Smartpls 4, they have introduced this row A and row C. So it is a newer addition. And they were telling that again, the like Cronbach's alpha, the row C is affected by the number of items. That's why they wanted to find out one more variable which is not affected by any of the outliers, etc. That's why they have found out a row A. It's like it is all an updation.
No, ma'am, my question actually is in one of the latest software, I found CR also. I found the CR row A as well. So my question
Yes.
is whether these two are same or they are different things.
No, no, sir, it is different. Row is not affected by any of the outliers or any of the number of items. While row C, to some extent, it is affected by outliers or the number of, it's like number of items, questions in the variable. And while the Cronbach's alpha is the extreme, that 100% it is affected by the number of items in the variable.
So row C, you mean to say, is your normal CR? Is it like that, madam?
Normal CR, yes,
Okay.
which is also affected by this number of items, but not as bad as Cronbach's alpha.
Okay. So here, as per your you just spoke that we need to only consider row underscore
Row
A.
A, row
Okay.
A.
As per here at all.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Okay. So after seeing this composite reliability, you need to come. What is composite reliability? Composite reliability establishes internal consistent reliability. So this is established. Then you need to go see for the convergent validity. So first we have seen factor loading. Second, we have seen this construct composite reliability. Third, we need to see convergent validity. So how convergent validity is established is through this average variance extractor. The convergent validity is established through average variance extractor. Again, this average variance extractor, the cutoff is, it should be greater than 0.5. It is that 50% of the variance should be explained by the variable. So the AVE value of 0.629 explains that 62.9% of the customer loyalty is explained by its indicators. This is what convergent validity is. So I told already the convergent validity is how the indicators together converge and forms a variable, right? So this 0.629 of customer loyalty means 62.9% of customer loyalty, that latent variable, is explained by the indicators what we have chosen. I think for customer loyalty, we do have 3 indicators. So this 3 or 4 indicators all together explain 62.9% of customer loyalty. There is some more, something like 36-38% of it is not explained, and it is explained by some other variable which is not in our scope.
It is just
You
like the R
understand?
square.
Okay, R square is actually coefficient of determination. That is for the variables. Latent variable, we do R square, not for the construct with its indicators. So you can't compare this with that, but it's like, please don't compare this with that, sir. That would be better.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, R square could be 1 also. But in average variance extracted, it's like only in ideal system, the AVE could be 1. If the AVE is 1, so there is some problem with our model. It is like 100% of one variable can't be explained by the indicators what we have selected. That is impossible. So that is coefficient of determination R square. This is average variance extracted. Is that okay? So the cutoff for average variance extracted is, it should be greater than 0.5. So this is the third one. After checking for the convergent validity, we need to check for the discriminant validity. So are we all on the same page? Yes.
So, madam, we have a problem with social factors, right? That's 0.398.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's what I thought of, removing that SF3. But I don't want to remove it in the starting. But it's a regular practice, as I told yesterday. It's like you can remove one and run the model and see. I think when you remove SF3, it will improve. That's an iterative process.
Okay, so ideally after we work on our factor analysis, this will not come.
No, it will not come.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you can tell that the exploratory factor analysis is already done. Why we need to remove it? Even if you have done the exploratory factor analysis, this is like confirmatory factor analysis. So you have, it's like I have done some 4-5 models or more than that. There is a high possibility of removing at least one indicator.
Right. Okay.
But you need to check whether if you remove that one indicator, there is improvement in the model.
Right.
Okay, so in my thesis, even if I remove an indicator, there was no improvement in composite reliability or this average variance extracted. In that case, I need to find out the citation supporting my values. So that is some other thing. It is not that we should remove it. So you now remove it and run the model and again see the composite reliability.
Okay.
If it get improved, you remove it. If it is not improved, it is better to have it. But generally, if it is less than 0.5, remove it.
Okay.
We have SF2, which is 0.59. That is also less than 0.6 again. But you remove and run again. Whether the increase in composite reliability is like when you remove SF3, if it improves to 0.8, then it's good. I don't think so. You need to improve it further.
Right.
We can have the SF2. So something like that. We need to do a trial and error shot on it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So we have seen the factor loading and we have checked. So we started with factor loading and then we have seen this composite reliability, which explains about the internal consistency reliability. And then we have checked the average variance extracted, which explains about the convergent validity. After establishing that, we'll go to the discriminant validity. So where the discriminant validity table is there below, which is explained by HTMT criterion. Okay, hetero-trait mono-trait ratio, that is HTMT criterion. So what is discriminant validity is that it is the extent to which a construct is different from the other constructs. So I told you yesterday that discriminant validity should be established between the latent variable and not with the constructs, while the convergent validity is the relationship between the indicators to its related construct. Right? Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
From the
Okay, so
variable to
here
its indicator should be between the
variable to indicators is actually convergent validity, while between the variables, it is discriminant validity. So generally, in case of Smartpls, the discriminant validity earlier was established using this Forner-Lacker criterion. You also know about this because when you see articles which is published with before 4 or 5 years, they have not touched anything like HTMT criterion. They might have discussed about only Forner-Lacker criterion. Okay. So in case of Forner-Lacker criterion, this diagonal elements, this 0.793, 0.931, and 0.719, this should be high, while the off-diagonal element should be of the lower magnitude. Okay. So that is actually Forner-Lacker criterion. That is the AVE compared to squared inter-construct correlation. So how this Forner-Lacker table is formed, it's like this 0.793 is, they will take the AVE of the customer loyalty and square it. That is this 0.793. That is the diagonal value. Likewise, you have this 0.931. This is actually this AVE square of the customer satisfaction. So the diagonal elements are all the average variance extract these compared to the squared inter-item. This is inter-item correlation. Customer satisfaction to customer loyalty, it is 0.393. So etc. So this is Forner-Lacker criterion. But nowadays, again, they have found out, that is the Hensler, they have found out there is some problem with the Forner-Lacker criterion and they have moved to this HTMT ratio. Yes, they have moved to this HTMT ratio. So when this, in case of this HTMT ratio, again, this HTMT ratio, this 0.65 to 0.85. So you can see again the social factors is creating a problem over here. It is giving us 0.960. So the HTMT is greater than that. For example, if the HTMT is greater or the average variance extracted is more than 0.95, it means that there was some multicollinearity issue in that factor. Again, I feel that SF2 is making that problem. So it is better we remove that SF2 and run the model again and see whether all of this get improved. Yes?
Do we have any cutoff value for HTMT also?
Yes, we do have cutoff value, like you should have 0.65 to 0.85. It is actually inter-construct correlation. Okay, so you are all in, what is that? In the group. I have sent you one article.
Paper. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Smartpls interpretation.
Right. Yes, ma'am. It's there.
Okay. It is all explained in that article. I'll also send you some more articles, which I will not be discussing now, but I will send that article. You read through it and get knowledge about it, but I'll explain. So there, the cutoff values for all of it is given over there. Okay. So here, in case of this, we need to see 4. The first one is the factor loading. The second one is actually composite reliability. The third one is actually convergent validity. The fourth one is discriminant validity. Right?
And this
Shall we
convergent
proceed?
validity and discriminant validity, all these come under CFA, madam?
CFA means what do you mean,
Like,
sir?
for
I don't
example,
understand.
What are the tests which come under this bucket of CFA? Is it all this? No.
You
Confirmatory.
mean confirmatory factor analysis?
Yes.
No, it comes under the measurement model.
Comes under the measurement model.
Yes. 1 minute, sir. I will show you that. Open. Okay, so in the measurement model, you will see this loading, Cronbach's alpha, composite reliability. There it is given row A. Do you see this row A, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
AVE and
Yes.
HTMT.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is all the values we generally check for the reflective model.
Okay.
Okay. And in case of formative model, there is an analysis called redundancy analysis. And
Okay.
you have variance, inflation factor, and significance and relevance of the indicator weights. I don't think so. We have enough time explaining this. But let me see, because I have one more module after this PLS algorithm. I'll run that. I will also interpret it and explain it. So in the 2 days, I can only touch upon the basic concepts. It's not like very basic, but it's like introduction to the Smartpls. I have time only to explain the reflective model and not the formative model. In case of the formative model, you need to do a redundancy analysis where you will not see the factor loading. You will export the factor score. It is like the LVS score, latent variable score, and then create a global variable, and then run the model again. That is actually the different process from the reflective model. I think for the formative model alone, it will take some 2 hours to explain it. Again, I don't have time to explain mediation and moderation also, but I'll give just a glimpse about mediation and moderation. Is that okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Just kickstarted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now again, go to Smartpls. So now we have done with the outer model. It is like the structural model, measurement model. Now we are going to see the structural model. So go to the Smartpls again. Go to Smartpls again. Okay. So we are in this page. So generally, when you run any of the analysis, even in regression, you will get F value, etc., but you will have the significant value. That is the P value, level of significance. Likewise, we have here to find out the level of significance, we have a concept called bootstrapping. Okay. We have a concept called bootstrapping. Anybody heard about the concept of bootstrapping?
Bootstrapping with respect to startups, I know, madam.
Okay. So it's like there is a technique called resampling. Okay. It's like, for example, generally we do have more than 300, 400 samples. So what you will do, you will run the bootstrapping. So I will explain this. Go to this model, go to calculate and press bootstrapping. Go to the model, Smartpls, press calculate and press bootstrapping. You will get this BT setup, that is bootstrapping setup. So it is telling the subsamples to be 5,000. For example, if you have 400 as your sample size, it triplicates or it multiplies the 400 to make into 5,000 and then run the model. You know about the trial and error method. So it will bootstrap it 5,000, creating 5,000 subsamples to test whether if the relationship is significant or not. So here by default, it will have 5,000. So do with the 5,000. So the default setting, please don't change anything. I'll explain one by one. This do parallel processing, most important, leave it. And here you have a confidence interval method. When you click the drop down menu of the confidence interval method, you have three types of bootstrapping. One is percentile bootstrap, studentized bootstrap, and bias corrected and accelerated bootstrap. Okay. So what does this bootstrap will tell you? It's like this is higher than the p-value. This is higher than the p-value. So here you have the p-value significance level. Generally, the significance level we will fix is 0.05. But you want a higher rigor, you can also change it to 0.01. You know what is the significance level, right? It is like 95%. You know about the level of confidence and significance level? What is the 0.05? Why you have the 0.05? It means that you can allow 5% error. The allowance of error is 5%. If you have 0.01, then the allowance of error is only 1%. It means the rigor is so high, as well as it is very challenging to get the output. So it is better to maintain the significance level as 0.05, as we do in SPSS or other type of analysis. Again, the test type should be two-tailed only. So again, you know about the one-tail test and two-tail test. So one-tail test will only test the significance either in positive direction or in negative direction, while the two-tail test will test the significance in both the direction. Okay, coming to the confidence interval method. This percentile bootstrap method, it's like you will get a p-value. Again, this bootstrap will confirm the p-value, where this percentile bootstrap will have the upper confidence limit and lower confidence limit. So the upper confidence limit for the percentile bootstrap is 97.5, while the lower confidence is 2.5. It means that 97.5 means 3.5. It's like the allowance error. So 2.5 is the lower confidence. The upper confidence level is 97.5. That is percentile bootstrap. You have, generally, we will not use the studentized bootstrap, but this bias corrected and accelerated bootstrap is that. The bias corrected is the one which adjusts for the biases in the bootstrapping distribution. For example, if there is some bias, you know what is the bias? If there is something about one variable is amplified or one of the responses amplified, the bias is corrected based on the bootstrapping. In case of bias corrected accelerated, it will adjust both for the bias as well as for the skewness. So there is a high possibility that the real world data set is skewed. Whether it's positive skewed or negative skewed, that is different. But the real-time data set are skewed. So this accelerated bias corrected bootstrapping will adjust for both bias and skewness. So it is a better practice that if you want to seal the trigger, if you want to tell to the reviewer that you have a rigor analysis, it is better to use this bias corrected and accelerated bootstrap. After selecting this, you can run start calculation. After selecting this, you can run start calculation. After doing the calculation, you will get a model. But here, instead of seeing the model, you can go to the Excel again and you can export it. And this time, I can save it with bootstrapping. Okay, and give save. Are we all in the same page?
No, I lost you.
Ma'am,
towards-
just one last 1 minute wala thing. Can you repeat? How did you save?
Because like, we can't see the screen, unfortunately. For the pop-ups, we can't see anything.
Oh, okay. I'll share the entire screen. 1 minute, sir. Okay. So what I did, it's like I went to calculate and did the bootstrapping. Now is the pop-up screen is visible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now it is clear, madam.
So yes, now you need to have all the default value like 5,000. Confidence interval method alone, the default is percentile bootstrap, but instead of percentile bootstrap, it is advisable to use bias corrected and accelerated bootstrap, because when your data is either skewed or have bias, it will correct it on their own. That's all. After using this, you go for start calculation. That's all. Is that okay?
So the default interval is 97.5, no, madam, for this bootstrap.
Okay. In case of percentile bootstrap, the upper control limit, the upper confidence level is 2.5, and the upper confidence level is 97.5, and the lower confidence level is 2.5. But in case of bias corrected, what we have chosen, including this, it will also adjust the bootstrapping for the bias and skewness of the data.
Okay. So is there any thumb rule that we need to take this particular only, or like?
It is not like thumb rule, sir. It is like generally all the reviewers will ask for the rigor.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So
correct.
generally, compared to percentile bootstrap, this bias corrected accelerated bootstrap have a higher rigor.
Okay. Okay.
That's why we go for this BCA, that is bias corrected accelerated bootstrapping.
Okay.
So
This is not for all the bootstrapping. This is actually applicable.
So after running that bootstrap, all the factor loadings will become 0.
That's not, now it is not factor loading, sir. Now it is the level of significance.
Okay.
Okay, now it is level of significance. So that's why I'm asking, go to Excel and again the same thing, export, and now give, it's like whatever model you give bootstrapping.
Where is that, madam? I did not see that option at all.
Okay, in the top you have Excel option.
Excel
like
option.
We have saved it. Click it.
Okay.
Click this, you will have a pop-up window where the same thing, render model image, graphs, plain layout, and press export.
So that is the same as normal export, right?
Yes. Whatever we did, but it's like it will be giving the same file name as we did it for PLS algorithm. So you will get confused. So you can rename the file name with bootstrapping.
Oh, okay.
And save it. Once you save it, you will get this. Okay, you get this bootstrapping.
Yeah, ma'am. But for me, I can see this canvas which we had where we were editing the variables and the construct. That screen is visible, but I can't see. Means I can see.
The screen is visible.
Yes.
Like this, you are getting right.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you go to calculate and then do the bootstrapping.
Okay.
And give start calculation.
Okay.
You will get the screen.
Okay.
You might have gone to edit. That's why you got that screen most probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then save it.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. So here. Okay, so in the final results, you have path coefficients, intercepts, total indirect effects, specific indirect effects, and total effects. Yes, so here we have total effects. Click this total effects. When you click this total effects, when you get this total effects, It's very wide. Okay. So when you go to the specific indirect effects, click this total effects and you see the total effects here. So the path from customer satisfaction to customer loyalty, physical factors to customer loyalty, etc., etc. All the paths are here. So when you go on the right side, you can see this p-value. You can see this original sample mean, standard deviation, t statistics, p-values, right? When you go to the total effects. Yes, is it visible?
Yeah. Ma'am,
The
you can
total
decrease the size of column B.
Okay.
So it will be
Yes,
all.
it is better. Okay. 1 minute.
No, ma'am. You decrease the size of
Yeah,
column
I'm
B.
doing that. That's quite challenging when it is bigger. Okay. Okay. So when you go to total effects and see the p-values. So the p-values will tell you whether it is significant or not. So the p-values of 0.00 implies that all the parts are significant, right? The p-value of 0.000 tells you that all the parts are significant. After seeing this, it is better you go for the confidence interval. Down, for the total effects, you have confidence interval, right? And when you go further down, you have confidence interval bias corrected. When you go further down, you have confidence interval bias corrected. So what is the difference between the confidence interval and confidence interval bias corrected means? This confidence interval is that the range, what I have told is the 2.5 to 97.5. But here, can you see the difference between these two tables? Here, the bias is also taken into account, while in the normal confidence interval, it is only the range is given. Here, only this range 2.5 and 97.5 is given, while here in the confidence interval bias corrected, it also accounted this bias. Right. So after seeing the p-value, come down to confidence interval bias corrected. After seeing the p-value, come down to confidence interval bias corrected. Okay. So how to interpret this confidence interval bias corrected? So this 2.5 is generally denoted by LCL, that is lower this 97.5 confidence level. Okay. See the range of LCL and UCL. It is generally told that when the both of it is in the same direction means same value. For example, in case of customer satisfaction to customer loyalty, you can see both the LCL and UCL are positive. In case of physical factors to customer loyalty, both are negative. It means that it will traverse from 0.519 and reach till minus 0.154. In the meanwhile, it will not cross the value 0. But for example, this is 0.519. I'm telling an example. If the lower control limit is 0.519 and the upper control, it's like confidence level is 0.345 or 234, something like that. In this case, the LCL is negatively signed while the upper confidence level is positive sign. It means that in order to reach from minus 0.5 to 0.2, it will cross the level 0. It's like you have quadrant, right? You move from a positive quadrant or the first quadrant to the second quadrant. Generally, it should pass through 0 and then come to the second quadrant. If that is the case, if the LCL and the UCL are in opposite direction, it means that even though your p-value is significant, the path is not significant. It is giving a false information. That is what that LCL and UCL will tell you. Do you understand this?
A little confusing, madam.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. Okay. So here we have seen the p-value in case of total effects. We have seen all the paths are significant. So
Yes, ma'am.
only the p-value is not telling you whether the path is significant or not. In order to confirm that only, we have run the bias corrected bootstrapping in order to check the p-value. When you come down to the bias corrected bootstrapping, you have this 2.5%. In this table, you have 2.5% and 97.5%.
Yes, ma'am.
2.5% and 95.5%. Here, this is LCL and this is UCL. Generally, we need to see both the LCL as well as the UCL. And if both the lower confidence and upper confidence level are in same direction means whether both are positive or both are negative. If both are positive and both are negative means it says that it approves that p-value. There is many instances that my personal experience and many of the articles, even when the p-value is less than 0.05. For example, I have seen some instances where the p-value, for example, the p-value is the p-value is 0.0501. Okay, so in that case, it is like cat on the wall. Or you take 491. You take 491. 0.0486. Okay. For example, when the p-value is less than 0.05 here in the total effects, but even though it is less than 0.05, but it is near to 0.05. Do you understand? In this case, it is like cat on the wall. In many instances, you will have this cat on the wall incident. So in that case, for that instances only, we'll also do this bias corrected confidence interval. So this bias corrected confidence interval, sometimes when you have a significant p-value, this LCL and UCL will be in opposite direction. But in this case, when you see this all, the first one both in positive direction, the second one both in negative direction, right? Do you understand?
Yeah, madam. We can see both are positive, both are negative. And
Yes.
so it has to be like that only, no? Either positive or negative, right?
Yes.
Suppose one is positive, one is negative, madam.
That's what I'm explaining. Okay. So for example, UCL is positive and LCL is negative. It means that you will have this quadrant. When you want to pass from a positive quadrant to a negative quadrant, whether it's x-axis or y-axis, it will pass through a value 0, right? So it means that when this LCL UCL range passes through the value 0, it means that even though the p value is less than 0.05, this UCL is positive and LCL negative, it means that that path is insignificant. Do you understand now? It is again confirming that p value, even though you have a factor loading. For example, we told that factor loading of greater than 0.6 is good. For example, when you have run the PLS algorithm, your factor loading is 0.7. That's actually good. You got a p value as 0.0486. But even though it conforms like this, when your UCL and LCL is, for example, this is 0.601 and your LCL is minus 0.321. It means that this is positive and this is negative. Even though you have a good factor loading, even though the p-value is less than 0.05, you need to tell in your article that the UCL and LCL are in opposite direction and hence the path is insignificant. That scenario is not there in our model now, but you need to tell that.
Madam, that will probably happen when p-value is very near 0.05. If it is like very low, then it won't happen at all.
Yes, if it is 0. In our case, it is 0.000. That's why we don't have that LCL and UCL problem. But in real sense, it's like I've cleaned the data, I have done the imputation, etc. That's why we have got this, sir. But generally, what I have seen is that I've got like 0.046, something like that. But I will get a UCL and LCL value of positive and negative. So in order to confirm the strength and in order to increase the rigor only, we have this bias corrected confidence interval. Yes?
Yes, madam.
Okay, ma'am, just one question. So, suppose when we did the analysis and we found that UCL and LCL is not in the same direction and the path is insignificant, then what is the solution?
You need to declare it in your article that even though in the prior literature review, there is a relationship between this with this. For example, customer satisfaction to customer loyalty. Prior literature is there, the customer satisfaction leads to customer loyalty. But your model is telling that there is no relationship between customer satisfaction to customer loyalty. Then you need to bring why that is not significant. Like for example, earlier they might have done in some other country. Now we have done in some other country. And one of the other, your set of customers could be a new generation called Generation Z or mostly Generation Z. Generally, the customer satisfaction will not lead to customer loyalty. There are some instances. You need to bring down that literature and see, you need to contradict the literature.
Okay.
That is what all the researchers want. It is not that our job as a researcher, our job is not to confirm already existing relationship. Our job is also to disprove it.
Right.
If it is disproving, we should not, it's like you should not window dress it. You will not manipulate it and make it a relationship and then present it. Rather than you have the guts to tell that it is not significant. And what could be a specific reason that it is not significant? That you can direct, but you need to do a lot of work. But that is the novelty of your research. So that is actually some way I tell that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, ma'am, in a nutshell, it has to be less than 0.05, the level of significance. Number one, UCL and LCL should run in the same direction.
Yes.
Right? If they are in the opposite direction, then they are insignificant.
Insignificant. Even though the factor loading is more than 0.6 or 0.7, the significance is not there.
So the main crux is the UCL and the LCL.
Yes.
Am I right, madam?
Yes.
Irrespective of whether the level of significance of P is less than 0, that doesn't matter. The most important thing we need to understand is UCL and LCL. They have to run in the same direction.
Yes.
Okay. And LCL, you told, madam, lower, what is the acronym?
Confidence limit and upper confidence limit. Upper confidence limit is 97.5. They have not mentioned anything like LCL and UCL. They will be mentioning 2.5% and 97.5%. This 2.5% is lower confidence level, while this 97.5% is upper confidence level.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
These are all principles we cannot change. We have to just follow.
It's a cutoff.
Yeah, correct.
It's a cutoff value which generally the founder has made it with many rigors. They have coded it at the back.
Okay, madam.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. So it's like we'll end our session now. It's like I have not touched the mediation and moderation. Sorry for that, because I have got too many basic questions and I need to address it before proceeding it to mediation and moderation or whatever is that. Don't have time to cover this also, but I just wanted to understand from the participant that whether you need a basic workshop on how to create a model or something like that, or you need an advanced workshop on, again, like moderation, mediation, and we do have tetrad analysis, we do have importance performance matrix analysis, etc. And we do have NCA, that is necessary condition analysis. So it's like we would like to understand what are your views and what is your expectation on the workshop.
I mean, in a layman's term, it should be like, for example, a researcher in layman's term, he should be able to, use the structural equation modeling and know, the pros and cons of which model to be used and how he can, walk his entire research so that he's able to navigate himself or herself and get the results done.
Okay, it's like we need to start from the basics until when to apply, how to run it, and we have to end it, right,
Correct.
sir?
Application should be there so that it becomes more easy. Like you took a lot of data sets, that was good. So way forward should be like that is my thought process. If I have to explain it in the class, I'll have to explain. I'll bring the questionnaire and I'll say that this should be done, this should be done, this should be done. So it should be in a very simple way. We should have a clarity, because until unless clarity is not there, then you will not be able to proceed. That is what I personally feel.
So it means like you don't get clarity on this, or I don't understand.
No, your session was great, madam. Your articulation was wonderful. There was a lot of clarity. But for example, now for 2 sessions we had this workshop. Now it is like we are halfway through, but iske aage kya karna hai? Like we are in a question
only
mark.
tip of the iceberg. If you are not halfway through also.
That's what. So now it is like a question mark to us, like going forward. For example, because SEM is still, we are new to SEM, to be honest.
Yes.
Let me not beat on to, at least myself, I'm not new to, I'm not, well accustomed with SEM. That's the reason, I asked you a lot of questions. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to ask a lot of questions, sir, because the workshop is to make you understand rather than I'm speaking what I know.
No, you were very patient, ma'am. Really appreciate, and your articulation was very clear. In fact, whenever we raised a question, you were very, patient. You listened us nicely, and you came out with your explanation. So thank you for that a lot, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Bharti, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What do you suggest? I mean, what workshop or course we should take up, being new in the researcher in this field?
Okay, so you need to start first with the conceptual model development. And after this, you come to the tools, because we are all management. You are from management, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so as a management researcher, so I am also from marketing. It's like, as a management researcher, we need to be very strong in the literature. So we need to thorough in the literature and make a conceptual model. And this tool is for just supporting the conceptual model. So this tool you need to understand, but it's like at the end of the day, you need to again back it up with the research. So you should start with devising devising a conceptual model, and then how to make a questionnaire, and how to code the questionnaire, and how to convert the questionnaire. Because I have cleaned the data set, that's why you don't have problem. If you have an unclean data set, you need to pre-process it. You don't have missing values, because in Google form we will make every question as compulsory. So that is not actually a problem. But there is a high possibility that some of the respondents will just tick this 444, 333, 555. So in that case, how you're going to handle this extremities? That you need to understand. It's like we generally don't remove any of the responses. We need to handle the responses. So, and then you need to come here, find out what is the basic structural model, and then move whether mediation and moderation is required. And advanced of mediation and moderation, you have moderated mediation also. So it's like you said that the reviewer asked why you have gone for Smartpls. So if you have a mediation model or moderated mediation model, you can tell that I have a complex model. So writing a complex model in the CPSM is challenging. That's why I've gone for this model. That is the PLS SEM. So you can tell likewise. So it is better to go for a complex model rather than a simple model. That's what my suggestion is.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Currently, I'm pursuing PhD. So,
Okay, where are you from? May I know?
Doing my PhD from Symbiosis, ma'am. Symbiosis International University.
Okay.
Based in Pune.
Yeah, I know about SBM.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Arnab, sir.
So, madam, I think the session was very, very good. Thing
sir,
is that
thank you,
I
sir.
think this is a very vast topic. So I think
Yes.
2 days like
Spontaneous.
not enough. So maybe you can have a longer session, or maybe you can have a
Yes.
sort of a mixed session where you have the basics on something like Udemy or something like that, and
No,
ask.
sir, we don't have this course on Udemy or Coursera anywhere.
Make one, no, madam.
Okay.
Yeah. Make one. And so at least the basics you make there, and then for this kind of session, you ask people to come prepared with the basics, and then do with as I think Prakash
Yes,
sir was
I
saying.
can give some articles to you, but as a researcher, I also know I'll never ever read the articles before the class. It's like students, that time we will convert ourselves into students.
You
That's
should
what the human
actually
tendency
create
is.
your own YouTube channel, madam, so that we can follow. We can
Oh,
have
that's great. Thank you.
video 1, video 2. So you can have a
Okay.
sequence, and going forward, it will help a lot of researchers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Honestly speaking, statistics का नाम सुनते कि out of 100, 90 people बोलते नहीं आता हमारा करना ही नहीं है. So if there are people like you, then you're also helping the society in so that becomes easy for all the stakeholders in the ecosystem of the research.
Of course, the teacher job or the researcher job is to help and grow along with everyone.
Correct. So it helps the society as well, madam. That is.
Yes, of course.
So
Okay,
maybe,
thank
madam,
you. Yes, sir.
madam, I'll just be very brief because others have hands up and the time is very late, I think.
Yes.
So, maybe have a 4 or 5 days session, or maybe have over 2 weeks, 5 days or something like 6 days, 3 plus 3, something like that. Because it's not enough, because we are like sort of moving very fast, and since most of it is new, it's very difficult to keep up.
I think instead of continuous session, we can also have a staggered session.
Correct.
Because you can also have some time, and then we will have 2 days and something like that. I feel when you tell about this, I was thinking that way. Because it is very difficult for everyone to sit for all the 5 days of a week.
Right, yes.
No, not all the 5 days. Maybe you make it over 2 days, 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
It's like 2 days in a week for 3 weeks together, something like that. It is for some. I think that will work rather than having continuous.
Yeah. Because
I can send some articles, ask them to read. So something I think that would work, sir. But thanks for the feedback, Arnab, sir. Yesterday you helped me a lot. It's like today I was searching for you. Where were you? You
really
didn't respond.
Because
yes.
I am from corporate. I worked for almost 30 years.
Yeah, you said. Yeah, you said about that.
Yeah, so my viewpoint is totally different. I find it very difficult to understand the academic viewpoint because, anyway, that's a different story. So,
okay.
Anyway, thank you.
Yes, sir. We will plan accordingly. I will consult with Bulnath, sir, about this, and we will inform you. We'll keep you informed about that, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ashish.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I have a doubt regarding. Actually, I'm working on a scale development paper. I have referred various articles related to the scale development. There, they have mentioned that SPSS AMOS is very good compared to PLS SCM. I don't know whether it's right or not. So many of them they preferred SCM in AMOS compared to PLS SCM. So, what is your opinion on this, ma'am?
Okay. Yeah, can I ask some questions? Few questions. So
Yes,
may I
ma'am.
know it's like the article you referred published in which year?
Around
Hello,
the
Ashish.
article,
Yeah.
one of the article, it's in 2023 also.
Okay. Is it from operations background?
No, ma'am, it's not from operations background. It's from technological related articles, ma'am.
Okay, then it's again the operation related. Generally that people will not accept the PLSM. Still, the PLSM is fighting with CBSM.
Okay,
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 my opinion is if you have a complex model, it is better to go with PLSM because in
okay,
CBSM you need to. It's like research is not about tools. Tools is
okay,
only should support the research. If you invest too much of time in doing this tools or working with the tools, then who will do the research? If you see the ABDC journals, particularly A-star and A journals, even the
okay,
structural equation modeling is not acceptable by them. They will only accept the experimental model.
okay,
They will go look out for the experiments. They will accept only articles with experiments. So
okay,
it's
ma'am.
like we do have different opinion, and I feel as a researcher, tool only should support the research, and tool is not an important part of research. So the
Okay,
important part of research is the literature review, the model development, and this both is backed up by these tools.
okay,
So that's why I do suggest Smartpls because I was using this before 10 years. So I was
okay,
fighting for the past 10 years, but now I think I don't fight more because A-star journals are accepting the Smartpls if your model is perfect. If you
okay,
have
okay.
some quality in it, they are accepting it.
Mostly they have related it in terms of sample size, ma'am. Like if you have a small sample size, it's better you can go with the PLS SCM, PLS.
Mm.
Otherwise, Smart PLS. Otherwise, you can go with AMOS. They have written in most of the articles. That's the reason
Mm.
I have a doubt regarding that. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So again, when your population is homogeneous, it is not required to have a larger sample size. But if your population is heterogeneous, then you can go for a larger sample size. It doesn't
Okay.
mean that if it is homogeneous, collecting 1,000 samples is actually not a survey. It is like you're studying a population.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So it's like it's contradictory. There are some views, but we need to accept these views and move again. But there are some journals with till now, like Operation Journal, Technology and Management, also now they are publishing. But it's
Okay,
like for the scale development, also we are using Smartpls nowadays at the later stage.
okay.
After scale purification, after that, you can use the structural model at the last.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Right.
you,
Thank you,
Ashish.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for spending us time. Thank you, Abhishek sir. Thank you, Prashanti ma'am or sir. Sorry, I don't know about it. Thank you so much for your cooperation. And it's like we'll let you know if we are conducting further workshop on the advanced modeling, or even we have just done the tip of the iceberg. So we need to explore further even in the formative model. We have not touched the formative model. So I'll just speak with sir and let you know, keep updated about this. And thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank
Ma'am,
you for giving
ma'am,
me this
one
opportunity.
question, ma'am. One question.
Yes, Ashish, sir.
Ma'am, are there any sources where we can get the license for lesser prices, ma'am?
Lesser prices means it's like what I have bought is actually the licensed version. I bought it for 1 month. So if it is academia, you can get a 50% discount.
Okay.
How much does it
For
run
that,
for, madam? For academia?
sorry?
How much do they
Sorry,
charge?
sir?
How much do they charge
Uh,
for?
If it is non-academia, they are charging for 1 month 5,000 plus.
Okay.
If it is academia, you will get some 2,669 something for 1 month.
And if you're a research scholar, anything, nothing.
No, it's not like that. Only academia and non-academia. They have not classified research scholar and faculty.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough, madam. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful
you, sir.
session. And
Thank
definitely the points which were suggested by the participants we'll discuss. And we do understand that 2 days for this kind of workshop is little days. And we'll work out, ma'am. On some of the topics, we can have it for 2 days, like, we had in the past, artificial intelligence, those kind of things can be done in 2 days. But pure statistics kind of things in 2 days, tough. And it's a very good suggestion, and definitely we'll discuss and we'll see that it is rightfully formatted, that workshop, in the upcoming workshop, if it is in the no statistics side. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good night.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good night,
Thanks, everyone.
all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
madam. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Yeah.
ma'am. Good night.
Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.